I am on
We're always
LinkedIn.
on LinkedIn. We're always on LinkedIn.
It's on LinkedIn.
Here we are, guys. What's
We're
up?
always on LinkedIn. What's up, everybody? We hope you're having an incredible week. It's another Tuesday, and that means Joe Wilson, Josh Pitts, we're shredding social and hanging out with you guys. And we're doing some fun stuff today. We're talking about of course, what our challenge was last week for all of you. And Joe and I took it upon ourselves to share some local Christmas lights in our community. So we're going to be getting into that. We're talking about 2022 recaps, 2023 predictions, and just success stories all around. Joe, how was your week been, my friend?
Dude, it's awesome. The end of the year is always a crazy time for everybody for multitude of different reasons, but it's a busy time of year for us at Social Coach. A lot of people are trying to get in last minute budget spend for the year. So we've added a bunch of new clients and some new partnerships. So it's really exciting. And then of course, all the family time, dude. It's like this is the craziest time of year with I've got 4 kids and I feel like everybody has like 5 different things that they're trying to get to. So every night of the week, there is some kind of holiday party happening for the next 2 weeks.
Holiday parties and like just family gatherings. We had one on Sunday, like friends gatherings, just trying to cram like everything in, but it's a great time. I literally on my show earlier, I talked about stay happy, repeat every day. There's all kinds of different ways you can shred. And right now this holiday season, it can get almost chaotic. So you got to stay happy. Like you got to just like, again, we're all like, oh, there's too much hustle. There's too much craziness going on. Be like, just recognize how fortunate and blessed you truly are to have great friends and great family. Even if it's some of the family you don't want to be like, you're like, oh my gosh, Uncle Tom again, that guy. Still, just be grateful you got freaking crazy Uncle Tom hanging out. But Joe, you and I took a challenge last week, and I'm excited. Here's the thing. I'm excited to do this because Joe did way better than I did. I made some mistakes. So we're going to talk about even the mistakes. Just because you think we do this all the time doesn't mean we still don't make mistakes. But Joe, we did a challenge. We said, hey, go around your local community, get some video, and then share it. And then again, let's see how it does within your local community. And your video, we're going to share it right here.
Well, we took 2 different paths, right? You went the stories route.
Yep.
Which is totally awesome. I love Instagram stories, but I took a little different perspective on it and made an Instagram reel.
You did a reel, which we're going to talk about here, kind of the differences. If you guys don't know the difference between the two, we'll kind of share a little bit of insights on that. But before we do it, I want to actually share Joe's. Joe, turn your audio on because I have the audio so we can hear
audio. Here we go.
By the way, that one house, epic. Great job putting your kids in there as well.
Candy cane lane, baby. There you go, man.
There it is. Okay. So, number one, like great video. You did it all from your phone, I'm assuming. As well.
Okay, yeah. Let's break down how this was actually made. Okay. Literally, me and my 2 boys went out on a scooter. Like literally on my scooter. It was freezing cold, but it was like Dumb and Dumber plus one more. And literally just drove around our town and we got so many comments, but like literally we just pulled up to the different houses. I pulled out my iPhone and I just did a quick little video of each different one that we went to, got back home, had a little hot cocoa because it was freezing for Orange County standards. Cause you saw the one part where we got like snow, but it's like foam, right? And I just picked the best ones, found a good trending audio, and it took me maybe 20 minutes to put all that together.
And here, I want to comment on this. If you guys saw the engagement on his post, it was awesome. And looking at, you get really good engagement on your page, Joe, but this did like almost double in regards to some. It was shared by a bunch of people. It was saved by a bunch of people. People commented on it.
Well, let's talk about that. Yeah. So it's got, I mean, we've had better reels, right? Like I've had better engagement. Some dad jokes go super viral. Not everything goes viral, right? But take the W where you can, right? This had 2,200 views. 82 likes on Instagram and a bunch more on Facebook. 3 comments, but 36 people shared it. So 36 people took the time to send it to somebody else.
That's impressive.
And then 6 people saved it. So and it's verifiable. There you go.
Boom, dude. This is okay. So, and here's the other thing: Reels stay within your feed, so that's going to show up on Joe's feed. I went the story route, so mine again with stories. Remember, stories disappear, and with ours, I'll admit we did not have the success that Joe had. It was very difficult to actually find houses in our local community that had any good lights. Like legitimately, we even went to the Homestead, which is a place here in Utah that it's known for what's called the Tree of Life. Really pretty tree, very cool lights, but it was difficult. We drove around with our kids for almost 2 hours in our truck, like, and we could not, like, we even were like messaging people in different Facebook groups, like, hey, do you know any good houses? And people are like, no, there's just no good lights this year. Unfortunately, I should have done on Saturday night. We went to some of our friend's house down in like Salt Lake, and there were some epic Christmas lights. I should have done another story while I was down there, because right across the street, they like yours, it was to the music. It was very, very cool. But the difference between Joe's and I's stories, again, it showed up. It did well, but now Joe's, people can see it. Even if they go back through his feed, it will be something that stays there in perpetuity. The stories, they're gone. So you can take it either way. Again, just like Joe, all I did was use my phone, did a quick video of it. Then we were done. I spent a little more time because it was difficult to find the houses. But
Your time was spent on other difficult things.
Yes, but so I would say both of them had good results. I think it was fun. I think this is something just to show all of you. You don't have to overthink content. It's something that you can do very, very easily, and that's why Joe and I wanted to share it, is because it was something fun, it was something different, and it was around the holiday season. So, all in all, Joe, I think it was a success.
I think so. I mean, so the point of doing that was, I mean, look, it's probably not doing anything for my personal business, because it was more for fun. But as if you're a marketing director at a mortgage company or bank or credit union, and you want to give your loan officers some tips of how to build a personal brand, that's why we did it. That's why we're here. That's why we're talking to you about these ideas. And we've got 4. That's one idea, right? So we have 4 others for you to share with your team, or maybe you're a loan officer and these are just for you specifically, or broker, or whatever the case may be. But we want to share with you video tips to help you build your personal brand, get more visibility within your local community that you actually want to do business with. That's the whole point of this, right?
Yep.
Is to get that visibility. I mean, of those 2,200 views, only 300 of them were of my actual followers. That means I got in front of 1,600 or 1,800 more people that normally would not have seen my face.
Perfect, dude. And that's exactly it. Is just because, like, and people overthink that too, just because they're like, oh, well, who's going to see it? Who cares? Just get it out there, post it. You never know who's going to see, especially when, like you said, you had over 30 shares. Somebody shares it. That means their community is going to see it, and their community is going to see it. So that is the point of this all. But you mentioned a couple of things. We want to give you guys all 4 more video ideas, 4 opportunities for content to wrap up this year. And the first one I'm really excited about is the year-end market recap. Like, it has been a doozy. It has been one of those years that it has been a roller coaster up and down. Beginning of the year, we had all-time low interest rates. End of the year, we have crazy high interest rates, relatively speaking. But again, Joe, number 1 video that we think would be good for everybody to share is doing a quick little market recap for your community.
I would love, what'd be really funny actually with that would be like, you've seen on, like, if you're thinking about Reels, right? You can do the green screen background, find a picture of a roller coaster, and like get on the roller coaster and do like some different times, like 3%, 2.5%, 4%, 7%, right? Like you're like what, and talk about what's going to happen as you crest over that hill into 2023. What do you think is going to happen, or what's the recap of this year, right?
Yep.
You make it fun if that's your personality, right? That might not be your personality, so talk about what has happened this year. What you don't want to do is you don't want to brag, you don't want to be boring, but just I think sharing what has happened this year would be really cool.
I say that a quick recap doesn't have to be long. Again, just utilize what you've got. Use your phone. And again, you can get as creative or as simple as you want. You could just talk to your phone. You'd be sitting in your office. You could be sitting around your Christmas tree or whatever it is, but find whatever fits you. Again, that's what social media is all about. Find what fits your personality. Do a quick video. It could be a minute or less on what a roller coaster of a year it's been. And then you mentioned the second video is completely different video is
Completely
what are
different.
your predictions for
Yep.
2023? Again, we're giving you 4 different ideas. So number 1 is a recap of 2022, what a crazy year's been. Number 2 is what are your predictions? Will it be a good time to buy a house this year? So Joe, I think this is a good one. Plus, if you don't have an idea of this, our good friend Ryan Hills over at the RE Source TV, he does an amazing job. Again, we want to give credit where credit's due. Go watch the RE Sources. They do it every year. They put out kind of a predictions for 2023. And Ryan and his team, I don't know if there's anybody better who does like the research when it comes to like, hey, what is actually going to happen? Go watch that video and it will give you some great ideas of predictions you can give to your community. So Joe, I think it's a great idea.
Do that. And, you know, I think again, it's throw whatever caveat you need to in there. You don't want to be just the purveyor of hysteria or, you know, thinking that everything's always, you know, rose-colored through the rose-colored glasses, right? Be realistic with it and share really good, competent advice, even if it's something that's not necessarily going to help you in the short term. Being that expert in your field and in your industry will win the respect of potential consumers, but also, and more importantly, those realtor referrals or other referral sources that are looking to you to be the expert and share your opinion. That's where you really win.
I was going to say, people are looking forward to you to be that expert. As Joe just mentioned, great opportunity to continue to solidify yourself going to that next year. So that's video number 2. Number 3, Joe, what's our number 3 idea for them?
Number 3, talk about this time of year, right? And we're all talking about, we talked a lot about this time of year, but what does that mean for potential home buyers? Like December and early January are actually really fantastic times to buy a house. Why? There's no competition. There might not be a lot of homes on the market, but there's not a lot of competition. And the last 6 months, people are I don't know, more than 6 months, last 2 years, even people have been dying to not have competition for homes. Right. And you can talk about that. Say like, look, this is the time. If you are serious about buying a home and there's something in the market that you like, this is the time to do it. There's not a lot of competition. Houses are sitting in the market for longer and longer right now. This is a great time to buy. So explain what those market conditions are. Explain that people are out, you know, are distracted, that this is a good time to think, if you're thinking about doing it and you're serious about it, to get under contract on the house, and then show how you can help them through that process this time of year.
Exactly. Again, like you mentioned in the last one, be that local expert. This is that time where, because the holidays are kind of so much, as we mentioned at the beginning of this video, there's so much going on. Sometimes they're like, oh, I'm just going to put it out of my head, but remind them. Maybe they just need a simple reminder from you being like, hey, if you're really serious about this, now could be a really good time. And maybe you can, we've all seen, even here in Utah, we've seen the market come down a little bit, Joe. So they might even get a little bit better price because everybody's going to start to list in the spring again. We all know that happens. That's just, so maybe you could get a little bit of a discounted price on the house. So again, be that valued expert in your community when it comes to buying a home. That's our 3rd idea for a video, and I think it's an absolutely great one. And then number 4, Joe, this is probably my favorite. And when you shared this with me, I'm like, this is brilliant. We want to be cautious of this one. So what's our number 4 idea?
Number 4 is share some success stories of people that you've helped this year. And, you know, so many times, guys, I see people bragging about the number of deals that they did this year, or, you know, I'm #humbled to report I closed, you know, $2 billion in loans. You're not humble if you're saying the dollar amount of loans that you closed this year. Don't do that. But share a specific story from somebody that you helped that was maybe a little unique, or is something that tugged on your heartstrings, or, you know, just like there's got to be a heartwarming story of somebody that you helped this year, or maybe multitude of stories, and share a couple of those really quickly. But, you know, it's about the people that we help, not about the loans that we close, right?
Okay, so, bro.
Just share that, make that a reality.
This is one thing that absolutely drives me insane. All you top producers out there, when you share your numbers, number 1, your community seriously does not care. And like when I see somebody share, oh, I closed $100 million in volume, people are then like, well, bro, that honestly, I'm thinking about like, well, great. You don't need my money then. They're going to ask you for a deal. Like Joe is freaking killing it then, because they don't understand just because you close $100 million in volume, you didn't make $100 million. Like people don't understand that. So forget that. If you want to share a big number, share the number of like, hey, I was able to serve 200 families and get them into new homes this year. That is one number that even then, but I love Joe's story, or like idea of sharing a success story of like, hey, I helped a young couple just out of college or just graduated college get their first home. I helped an older couple get their first reverse mortgage, whatever it is. Share those stories that, again, are going to make an impact. Especially, again, I'm trying to double dip here, Joe, not trying to but think of what niche are you trying to focus on? Yeah. What community are you trying to serve? Find a success story around that so you can position and platform yourself going into the next year. Again, guys, just be simple. And it can be, it doesn't have to be braggadocious. It doesn't have to be egocentric. Just share somebody you helped this year.
I think that's such an awesome thing. And like you said, be careful on that, right? Get approval from the individuals 100%. Before you say or tag their names or whatever. But seek that approval and get it and tag them in it. And then maybe they are going to reshare it. And then this is how social media works, guys, is if you tag more individuals, especially if you can get the borrower, if you can tag the realtor, if it was a purchase transaction, share that story, make it something really impactful that people want to share, want to talk about. That's the kind of stuff that will work. Not the numbers, not bragging about it, but just sharing those stories. That's the kind of hook that will get people interested and maybe connect with that on a more personal level, that then they'll want to do business with you.
Dude, what you just said, Joe, literally every time you close a transaction, if possible, you should be getting a picture together. Maybe you guys think it's super quirky when you see a realtor, but at the same time, you can tag it. That is just an opportunity to show value to your realtor. You're sharing it to your community. He's like, well, man, Joe's thinking about me when he's tagging in that post. We don't guys, look for opportunities like this. This is how you're going to win in 2023. You have to be mindful of these things. Don't come from a place of oh, I want just to get business. Recognize the people that you were able to serve. Recognize the realtor you were able to work with. Joe, I think that's the best advice we could possibly give. This is absolutely brilliant. We've been going almost for 20 minutes now. And I think we've given you guys 4 video ideas. We've given you even more tips to really lengthen your social media with realtor partners. Anything else you want to add, Joe?
No, dude. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, Happy everything. I hope that this has just been an awesome year, Josh. We've shred a lot this year. We have shred a lot this year. Shred a lot this year, and I think this is probably our last one of the year because I'll be out next week. But
there you go, guys.
This is the last one of 2022. I couldn't be happier, and I'm looking forward to 2023 with you, man.
I was going to say 2023 is going to be a huge year for all of us. We're excited to continue to shred with all of you and helping you with your social media needs. To all of you guys, huge shout out to Joe Wilson and the entire Social Coach team for all that they have done. It's been an amazing year, and we look forward to, like I said, shredding with you guys in the new year. Happy New Year, Happy Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, or whatever they say, and we'll see you guys all in the new year. Later, Joe.